Last night we slept in the Oranmore train station parking lot because it was free and available on the app called Park4Night that we've been using this entire time we've been traveling around Ireland to find campsites. Over the course of the past 5 days, we've had some amazing campsites, views, and experiences here in Ireland, and we have absolutely loved every second of it. But unfortunately, today is our final day in this amazing van. So we're gonna be doing a few kind of van lifey admin tasks. I don't like the sloshing. And hopefully staying at somewhere pretty cool tonight, and then finally making our way back to Dublin tomorrow morning. So here's kind of the general layout of how the day is hopefully gonna go. We're gonna leave this train station. We gotta get some gas. We gotta get what's called Adblue. It's like a fuel efficiency thing, I think, for diesel vehicles. I'm not sure if it's a European thing or all diesel thing because I've never driven a diesel truck before, so I don't know if it's in the US or not. And then we are going to head towards a campsite tonight that is paid because we have to dump our toilet, refill water, and charge up electricity before we return the van tomorrow. We're hopefully going to stop along the way to a small town where my dad's great-grandfather is from. So my great-great-grandfather, and he's the one, I don't know if it was him or his family, came from Ireland to the US. So gonna stop by, see where the origins of my dad's side of the family came from, and then make our way to the campsite. So should be a relatively simple day, but you never know what's gonna happen. Sarah just got us some more water, and I filled up the Adblue. I did some research, so Adblue is basically just the European equivalent of DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, that we have in the US. I didn't know that existed either. Never driven a diesel vehicle, never owned one, so the more you know.
Thank you.
That was easy.
Easiest one yet.
Nice.
€2 on the N61, I think we're on. Could be wrong, it might be the M6. Not sure. So far, the only toll that we've had to pay separately is the M50. You have to pay that one online. There's no toll booth to pay at. Otherwise, they've all had tap to pay as an option, or you can use cash, whatever you prefer. We have just arrived in the town of Kiltoom in County Roscommon, where my great-great-grandfather is from. I reread the text from my dad and aunt, and he was the one that came from Ireland to the US. So that's pretty interesting. Tiny little town in Ireland that he's from. Unfortunately, I don't really know much else about him or his family. I know his wife is from County Cork, or her family at least is. Other than that, that's kind of it. We just pulled up to a graveyard here in town, and I'm gonna take a quick look and see if there are any last names matching mine here, because that would be the last name that would be on any of the gravestones. Worth a look, right?
Might as well.
Yeah. There are other people here probably looking at their actual relatives, so I'm gonna leave the camera here out of respect, and I'll report back my findings. Well, we searched. No dice, but pretty cool to see the area, this tiny little village. Surprise, we actually just drove by another graveyard. Sarah just on a whim told me to pull in, and we did. And as we were driving by, we saw 2 gravestones with my last name on them. And my last name isn't super common. It's, I think, pretty Irish, but it's not like a Murphy or a Feeney or a Kelly. So I don't think that I'm not related to them in some way, but it was hard to tell because we don't have a whole lot of information. So we're going to try to do some research. I'm going to text my dad and my aunt, see if they know anything that they haven't told me yet. And yeah, pretty cool, I think. I mean, pretty fascinating to like connect with where your family is like originally from, in a way.
He's yawning.
We have made it to our campsite for the night, we think. There's nobody here to like check us in and to pay for the spot. so we have to wait until it opens. There's also a gate. We can't access that because we don't have the code, which I assume we get after we pay for a spot. So I'm gonna wait it out in this other little parking lot just outside of it. Okay, we have officially made camp for the night. Super easy. We had to WhatsApp text the guy to let us in. He came down, let us in, gave us the gate code, showed us the black water tank where we dump the toilet, electricity, water. So
And a few walking paths.
and a few walking paths. This is a super pretty village. We're right on the river. So we've got some boats to look at, some ducks. It's very quiet here. We're the only camper in the lot right now. We gotta dump the toilet.
I actually have the pee sauce.
This is probably
The worst part.
the worst part of van life, I think. There we go. In all her glory.
Oh my god.
I don't like the sloshing.
Lucky for us, we filled this up to the brim.
And she kind of smells. So
Let's get it going.
let's get out of here. A thorough hand washing later, we are empty for the toilet. Now we gotta fill up the water tank and plug in for some good electricity. Alright. We have electricity. Or
Well, we should make sure it works.
higher voltage electricity, I should say. We should make sure it works.
Interesting we went this way around the camper van. The other way would have been shorter.
Yep, it works. Now it's lighting up. So basically, in this camper van, the two outlets that have regular wall mounts only work. Oh, it's a boog. It's like a moth. It went out. Nice. Anyways, so the two wall outlets that use regular plugs, I guess you could say, require 240 volts electricity, which we have to plug in to get. The solar panel on the roof works for like charging the leisure battery, which then powers all the USB-C outlets in here, which are good for our phones, the camera batteries, etc. But our laptops kind of need more electricity, so we have to plug in to use that. It's also worth mentioning now we don't have to worry about electricity that we use for the water pump and the water heater, which will make life a lot easier instead of having to worry about using just a solar battery.
When we shower, because all of our clean towels have landed on the floor when we drove, so they're all dirty.
Tragedy strikes. I didn't realize this hose was so short. We haven't had to use it yet because the other campsite that we filled up water at had hoses attached already. And the water spigot is over here. And the inlet to the van is over here. And this is maybe 15 feet of hose. And that's at least 30 feet we probably need. So I might have to move the van. Okay, quick little spin around in the van. Parked it parallel to the river here, so hopefully this hose will now reach from here to here. She reached. You've probably been able to tell today, but in case you haven't, the sun has been shining all day, and we just showered, and now we just feel so good. I'm just like enjoying the sun on my face. It's been pretty cloudy. It hasn't rained really that much. It's only rained at night, so we've had good weather while in Ireland, but this is the first day of like full sunlight that we've had, and it feels amazing.
Full is a little bit of an exaggeration, but for Ireland, it's all relative.
It feels like full sunlight because of how cloudy it's been the whole time I've been here. I guess is a better way of
like
saying
half
it.
of the sun.
Yeah, like get in here, get some of this. Time for some dinner. Also, forgot to mention, the town that we're in is called Roosky, R-O-O-S-K-Y. But Roosky, super, super cool. Time for dinner though. We're gonna be cooking up some of the food that we haven't eaten yet. So I'm thinking tonight is gonna be kind of like a taco / tomato soup night.
Tomatoes. Our little appetizer.
Yes. So gonna get cooking on that and then kind of just chill. It's a pretty relaxing day, which has been super nice and enjoyable for this last full day of van life here in Ireland.
Dinner is served. I actually think we've peaked the last night of the camper van life. I think if we did this every day, I could do it for longer than I think I could. KJ and I have been debating, like, you know, could we do this full time, this whole week? And it's like, how long could be our longest trip? Is it a month? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? But if it's like this is the good stuff. This is why people like van life.
I thought someone was walking by. It was the shadow of the towel. I was like, who the heck's here?
Spooky.
Going off of that theme, I was thinking about it the other day. And so basically, this trip, we started in Dublin, basically did a loop around the south of Ireland up to Galway, and now we're kind of working our way back to Dublin. So there's a whole northern section, well, Northern Ireland, different country, but also Northern Ireland. We didn't even touch.
Orland.
Yeah. So I honestly think that if you want to do the entire country of Ireland, and you have the time and you're willing to do a camper van, I would say minimum 2 weeks, probably a month. Because we were doing this for a week and we moved pretty quickly, saw a lot, and it's been absolutely amazing. But if you really want to like dig in and see the tiny little villages and go slowly and spend multiple nights at different campsites and then see the entire country while doing that, I would say minimum 2 weeks, but probably a month. It's been absolutely amazing, and we are hoping to do this again maybe and do the northern part of the country, but that'll be a future trip that we have nowhere near planned as of right now. One more night in Bluebird. Tomorrow we are dropping her back off at the Dublin airport. We will see you tomorrow. Good night.
No.
Turn over here. Is it bright enough? Sure. Well, yes or no?
It is.
Okay.